And we are live. Welcome back to Aussies taking over the NBA. It is Saturday night, 9:30, the eve of the season. We've had games today.
We had what was called, man, it looked worse than pickup games, to be completely honest.
A couple of those look pretty bad. But yeah, games are back. Players are getting ready for the new season. We've had some positive tests and some stuff like that. Some crazy stuff going on. But tonight we're going to do a 30 and 45. So basically do a little spiel on every single team going through the entire season. And then we're going to... I've got some issues with my camera, but I'm going to fix them. We're going to give you our over-under win prediction and, just say a little bit about every team, talk about... we've got a sneaky Aussie who snuck by us. We're going to have a little chat about him, reveal who that is. I'm going to be happy to watch him. He had a really good season, spoiler alert, in the NBL last year. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets any game time on a two-way. We'll reveal that. But as always, like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. I was going to say as on Aussies taking over the NBA. Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, SoundCloud, and anywhere you find your podcasts. The new season's on our doorstep, so it's going to be hot content. We're also doing card stuff as well. We're going to do some more recording tomorrow and then drop some more videos during the week. So if you're into the card content, definitely subscribe for that. Hit that notification bell. And we're just going to smash right into it, try and knock this out in 45 minutes. And we're going to start with the New York Knicks. Is the first team off the rank, 22.5 wins. What are your thoughts on the Knicks?
Under,
just straight up.
Straight up under. Terrible.
You reckon they're going to be terrible? Under 22.5 wins. That's not many wins.
It's only 72 games, remember. It's not full season. So
Yeah, but still,
terrible.
How many wins you predict?
19
wins. I went with 27 for me. Look, Thibodeau, they drafted Toppin. They got Burks, Noel, Rivers. That's not a bad supporting cast. Kind of, a little bit of the bong water of the NBA. But
yeah, they've just. I'd actually prefer to watch the Cavs over the New York Knicks this year.
Really?
Tom Thibodeau's not really a great coach as well. So,
but he's not a loser though. Like I like the fact that he's not a guy who's gonna just be like he's gonna be tanking. What the hell?
Neither was David Fizdale, and look how that went.
True, so but I think Fizdale doesn't have the pedigree that Thibodeau has.
Yeah.
But I think Toppin's going to be very interesting. They played today and they looked pretty rusty. They've kind of got a bunch of just role guys on their team. It's kind of weird to watch, like Randall, like Noel. They signed Noel, Kevin Knox. They've got kind of decent guards, like not the worst. Frankie Smokes, Burks, RJ Barrett, who you're not a fan of, I know. But yeah, I think they're going to be all right. Like I got a low key, crazy, just sneaky, underrated team that everyone just goes, "Whoa, where'd the Knicks come from?"
Nah, mate, they just did nothing in the off season. They'll just continue to do nothing in the regular season. Maybe they draft again well next year, and a couple of their players develop. But Kevin Knox went from playing a lot of minutes down to playing pretty much no minutes. They just haven't developed their young talent. I like Mitchell Robinson a lot, got a lot of time for him, but the rest of the team is just doggy poo-poos.
Yeah, don't like it. Well, I went for 27 wins, so that's going to be an over. So it'll be interesting to see. I still like that Tibbs as coach. I think that's going to actually make this team want to play. Either he gets fired for like being too hard on all these guys, or they actually go out and play hard and want to play and get somewhere. But speaking of the Cavs, you want to watch the Cavs better. So they had 22.5 wins as well. Thorn on a 10-day. They re-signed Delhi. They signed JaVale McGee as well. So Thorn actually like duking it out with and Drummond. Sorry.
Yeah, they're trying to extend the roster to 15, obviously due to COVID, and I think that's where maybe Thorn will sneak in. I'd hope to see him sneak in in that 15-man deep roster. I think they probably do need a third center in that lineup and potentially, plays power forward. He just adds something different to McGee. McGee's not really a stretch five, and Thon is technically a stretch five. He can shoot at some clip. But
that's a good shout, actually. Drummond and JaVale can't shoot, and Thon can actually stretch the floor. I was looking at this and going, man, Drummond and McGee, like, you got no chance of making this roster, Thon. Like, and I think, did McGee sign after He signed that 10-day, I think.
No, McGee was traded before he signed the 10-day. The 10-day was really the training camp. Obviously the training camp, but I think with the extension of the roster out and the fact that the Cavs really don't have much on their payroll outside of Kevin Love, he might sneak in on a year deal, but we'll have to wait and see. I think they've got to guarantee that by the end of January 10 or something, I think in Exhibit 10. So we'll see what happens. I like the fact they re-signed Delhi. Kevin Porter Jr. is out, trying to shoot people. So I don't know what his thing is about. But that's
this team to me is just like, not feeling it at all.
Look, they're going to pull out some sneaky wins, but I think they're at about 20. I'm going to go under
20 wins. I went with 22. I had 25, and I'm going to make it 22, which is an under as well. I don't know. I can see this team being pretty bad again. There's a really good draft class too next season, and a little bit different from the Knicks. Like I feel like the Knicks have at least some go forward, whereas the Cavs are still in like this limbo of what's happening with Drummond and Love and like Sexton and Garland. Like they're not going to draft more guards, and like they're kind of still in a bit of a mess situation.
Yeah.
We're both going under on that. OKC, 22.5 wins. Signed Ariza, Justin Jackson. They've got Horford on their roster, TJ Leaf, Pick City.
Yeah, they got Pick City. I mean, I think they've done really well. And they've essentially they're the new Philadelphia, man. They're just the new process, right? They've just tanked the shit out, blown it up after a very good season. Taking the Houston Rockets to a Game 7, amazing. Look, their design is not to win this year. They've got SGA. They've got Horford, who's a great center vet. Look, I think they'll pull out something. I think they maybe pull out 21 wins.
You going with 21?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 21, just slightly under.
So I went 27. I don't know why I went that high. Why am I going that high? I think they're a candidate for being over. They've kind of just, their roster has some decent sort of veteran type guys: George Hill, Trevor Ariza, Horford, Justin Jackson at 25 years old, and Shea. Like really, what they lost is important pieces that were baked into their franchise last year. It wasn't like, Steven Adams. Put a team together and they were bad. Like they had some guy, Steven Adams, some guys baked into that team. Gallinari, I think that was only, I think he might have been traded there from LA Clippers. Lou Dort might have another crazy season.
Yeah, that's true.
See a little bit more Lou Dort. Mike Muscala's on that team too. Mike Muscala's only 29. Damn. They drafted Pokusevsky. Who did they draft? Who was the other draft? They drafted someone else, I think. No, I can't remember who it was. I think I might have traded him. But so you reckon under?
Under, yeah.
How many wins? 21?
21, yeah.
I'm gonna change mine to 24. I think they're gonna be, hard to watch. Detroit, 23.5 wins. Weird forward scenario, man.
If they trade Derrick Rose, they're not going to win a game. Who gives Plumlee 25 mil?
That was weird.
What is Dwayne Casey even thinking? Killian Haynes for me is not really a great player. I don't think he's going to make it in this league.
You reckon?
Yeah.
He looked decent when we were watching footage of him.
Euro, not NBA. He's kind of been given the keys. The word on the street is they're going to trade Rose. They've got a Plumlee. They paid Jeremy Grant way too much.
Yeah.
Look,
I don't know why he left Denver, man. That was weird.
Look, if they get to 17 wins, I'll be laughing, man. I'm gonna
17 wins.
This team is disgusting. They traded Kennard. What? Like, no.
Yeah, I'm changing mine to 22 wins, just under.
17
for you. They're going to be the worst team in the league, you reckon?
Oh, I forgot about Griffin. It depends how healthy Blake Griffin is.
Well, they played the Knicks today, and they struggled to score. And like Blake Griffin's kind of got this. I can like this weird sort of crab dribbling, slow in and out dribble. Oh, step back three, and you're like, wow, step back three. But then you kind of watch what precedes that step back three, and you're just like, you can't do this like over an entire season. Like this is like not good.
Look, he willed them to the playoff once. I'm going to change mine. Go to 24 wins.
24, damn, over.
Just purely the Blake Griffin factor. I think that if he stays healthy, he's had a long time out of the game. It's purely Blake Griffin. He's still a class player. They've got Derrick Rose, but again, that'll change if he gets injured and Rose gets traded.
So the other thing I was thinking when I was watching those highlights against the Knicks, like the inside play, right? Like they're going down this hole of like, you know, a big who's a playmaker with other bigs. And you kind of like, yeah, I can see that. And I can see what that is. And I can see it maybe working. Like it's a bit of a zag type scenario of what's happening in the league. But at the same time, still looks weird. And the Blake Griffin step back threes is just too weird for me. It was weird.
He's like slow-mo Joe.
Yeah, slow Joe. So yeah, I went under, you went over on that. So Charlotte Hornets, 25.5 wins. I low-key think they're going to be good, man.
I kind of do as well.
I like this Hayward. Like I've like spoiler alert. I got a cold call coming about this Charlotte team, but I like that Hayward signing next to LaMelo Ball.
I kind of do. I think it opens up Hayward's game a lot more. I think that was the problem in Boston. Kemba Walker's not a typical point guard. He doesn't facilitate a lot. He's more of a score first kind of, you know, try and put up 60. Cody Zeller's not really my mind. Look, Cody White, PJ Washington, these guys are good players, man. I'm going to go Charlotte 32 wins. 32? I really am. Yeah, 32.
So I went 31. We're both over. Yeah, I think Hayward's the perfect like rebuild star.
Yep.
You know, like a lot of people were like questioning that contract. Like, why are they paying so much for Hayward? But at the same time, like he's a low maintenance type of guy. And all right, you're going to pay a lot for him, but at the same time, you're not going to get an erratic star. Like we've seen some stories about James Harden, et cetera, et cetera. You're not going to get something like that. You're going to get a pretty good pro. And I kind of like the fit with LaMelo. Like he's going to run a lot of pick and roll. He's going to get a lot of space with like if LaMelo can handle the ball anywhere near like what he was doing in the NBL. He's going to get a lot of space to get those sort of like step in foul line type jumpers, or maybe like cross cuts and drives to the hoop, and maybe even finish plays off LaMelo playmaking. They got Malik Monk, Miles Bridges. They've got an inexperienced team though. That's a pretty inexperienced team. And I don't know if, you know, Hayward and Rozier are two good enough guys to go 30-win team. Like that's the part where I'm like, ooh, maybe not. But at the same time, like I got this gut feel of like, they're going to be decent, man.
Yeah, I'm going 32 wins.
32. All right, so I went 31. Anything else to say?
No.
Timberwolves, 28.5 wins.
That's a weird one.
I think they're going to be really horrible. Carl Towns, man. Shout out Carl Towns. Carl Anthony Towns. Jesus, like rough as, man. Who knows what kind of frame of mind he's going to be in when he comes back. D'Angelo Russell, and then like Rubio just sneaking his way back to the Timberwolves. Like, woo! All right, sweet.
Look, I think 28.5 wins is a bit harsh. I just wonder of the chemistry of the team defensively. Like they're just not a defensive team. Malik Beasley, you know, they've got something of a roster there. Look, I'm going to go over. I'm going to say 30 wins.
30.
I don't think they're that bad. I think that there's a lot of unknowns with that team.
Just dialing it in. I went 23 under. Very under for me, man. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near 30 wins. Okay. I just think it's going to be awful. I'm just going to go back and have a quick look at their roster. Again, the T-Wolves. Rubio, D'Angelo Russell, Carl Anthony Towns, Malik Beasley, Anthony Edwards. Number one pick in the draft. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. Juan Hernan Gomez, Jarrett Culver, Ed Davis, Jake Layman, Josh Okogie. And then it's like, that's it. So they got like 6 players. Six decent players.
Yeah, it's not that bad a team for my mind.
Not horrible, but I don't see it being good.
Number one pick in the draft.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Edwards goes. He's in a scenario where they don't have to be good. he's a rookie that there's no expectations placed on him. He can just come out and ball. And I think he like we watched a lot of footage of him, and I think he is a player that would just come out and is going to ball, man. And you got Ricky Rubio in there. He's going to be taking 11 shots a game. And you're just going to go, Ricky, what the hell are you doing, man? I don't know if he's going to come off the bench or run point. Like, what's their starting lineup going to be? Rubio, Russell, Karl Anthony Towns. They don't really have a power forward apart from like Juan Hernan Gomez, Ed Davis. I still think they're going to be bad for next season's draft too. They might be able to pick up another really good player in next year's draft and then that rebuild. But yeah, I feel for Karl Anthony Towns, man, the shit that he's gone through. Who knows how he's going to come back. All right, San Antonio Spurs, 29.5 wins. So they paid DeJounte Murray. DeRozan opted in. Of course, DeRozan was going to... sneaky pickup of Vassell?
Yeah.
Who's your man?
Yeah, that's the sneaky pickup. Look, I like Keldon Johnson as well. In the bubble, he was pretty good. Patty Mills, probably going to play 30 minutes. I don't know. It's hard to tell with this pop team.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell really what they're going to do. They're going to win some games. They're going to lose some games.
They felt kind of checked out last year too.
They felt checked out. But look, sneaky Devin Vassell, to me, is a sneaky rookie of the year. It'd just be interesting to see how much Pop plays him in a system. Lonnie Walker, they've got some good talent. You can't ever count them out around that kind of between that 10th and 8th spot, 10th and 6th spot, So 30, I'm going to go 33 to 33 wins.
33 to 33?
33 to 35, 34. Smack bang in the middle.
So I went 30. I think they're quite a safe over, but a very hard team to pick how many wins they're really going to get.
Yeah.
The systematization of that team means that a guy like Vassell isn't going to get the same sort of luxury as he would like on the Timberwolves where he came in and just like, get out of my way, I'm going to ball and be a star type of thing. But at the same time, I like that pick for them because we watched footage of him and we're like, man, he could fit in a system. I think you even said that he might fall to the Spurs and would be a good pickup for the Spurs as well in that. They've got Keita Bates-Diop they picked up as well, who was, I think, on Denver last year. I think he's on two-way, who I like. I was watching a lot of footage of Jayshawn Tate last year, and he was on that Ohio team as well. Actually, I'm just going to double-check that I'm not mixing that up. But I'm pretty sure, he was on that Ohio team, and there was a lot of JT and Keita Bates-Diop sort of two-man magic, so I think he's going to be a decent pickup. Ohio State. So the Spurs could be Spurs, or Spurs could be Spurs from last year. The Sacramento Kings, 27.5 wins. I don't know why that went above Spurs when it's clearly it should be under Timberwolves. What happened there? That was a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Losing Bogdan for absolutely nothing.
Picked up Whiteside. They picked themselves up a Whiteside. Sweet.
Picked him up so vet minimum Whiteside.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
26 wins.
26, under. Pretty safe under, I think.
Pretty safe under.
Tough, another tough one to pick. Luke Walton as coach too. Like I watched them today. They played Portland, and it was hard because like Portland and Sacramento are two teams like you feel like they're going to be bad, and then you watch two bad teams play, and you're just like, but I want both to lose type of thing. So like you can't process what's actually happening. And I thought Portland like looked pretty good in that, where it made me go, oh shit, like actually Portland might be a decent team, might sneak into maybe a 6th seed. But then you're like, oh, they're both pretty bad teams. I'm not feeling it. They drafted Halliburton.
Yeah.
Not a bad draft. They paid De'Aaron Fox a huge salary. And De'Aaron Fox is pretty good. I think they still got Jaren Jackson too, I believe.
No?
No,
yes, they do Jaren Jackson. Do they?
Nah. What's going on? Where has my knowledge disappeared to? That's Memphis, I think. Yeah, I think
Josh Jackson. Yeah, Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson's Memphis. My bad on that one. My Marvin Bagley was who I was thinking of.
Yeah, he's kind of an injured soul though. He's 3rd pick, probably more about his rapping than his actual playing. So
yeah, they've picked up Jabari Parker, Rashawn
bad
Holmes, I
pickup.
think, is still there. Glenn Robertson the third, GR3.
That's not bad.
You saw a little
Still
GR3 last
26
year
wins.
with Philly.
Still 26 wins.
26 wins. No, I'm not convincing you they go any higher than that.
No, not in the West.
Yeah, I think they're going to be bad as well. I think they're going to be like down with Minnesota or like scraping the bottom of the barrel. Washington Wizards, 32.5 wins. Westbrook.
Genji
I kind of
Avada.
like that. I like low-key like Westbrook at the Wizards.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
I think
Rui, Westbrook. They're just kind of missing a good center. Admiral Schofield and Thomas Bryant, yeah, okay, but not great. Rui, Beal.
they've got Rollo and Davis
Yeah.
Bertans. They paid Davis Bertans a lot.
Yeah, well, he's probably one of the highest clip kind of centers, power forwards in the league. Look, 35. I think they sneak into the 8 in the East.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, Rui second year, Davis Bertans, Westbrook, Beal.
So I went 33, which is an over. I like the Westbrook pickup. Like, Westbrook's going to play hard all the time.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few guys that I don't like, yet
But
respect the fact that he can, like, just drag a team to a possible playoffs seed. And although, like, putting him into systems, like, he's not the go. You know what I mean? Like, going from OKC to Houston, where it's just like, you have to play in this system with James Harden. Like, it was like, and then they ended up moving that entire team just out of his way. And then he got injured, which, he was looking pretty good when they moved the team out of it, like, moved the entire team out of his way. Like, I don't think the Wizards are going to do that. But at the same time, I think the Wizards are going to go, well, you have your role as a senior type player in this team that's going to fit him better in a basketball sense.
Yep.
They drafted Denny Advia, which I think is a good pickup. He's going to learn a lot of bad habits from Westbrook, but
yeah, definitely.
Chicago Bulls is up next, 30.5 wins. Why is that all? That's all out of whack there. That's weird.
Watching that today,
that was hard, man, to watch.
Defensively, they're just fucking terrible.
They're really bad.
I'm gonna go 25 wins.
25 wins. I went 25 also.
That's a safe under.
I think it's a safe under. At 30.5, I think it's a very safe under. I just don't see like the gel in that team,
No, I think I see a lot of ballers. I see like Zach LaVine becoming a Bradley Beal of the NBA. He will be a top player, but never recognized for it because he'll just always be remembered in the T-Wolves as a dunk contest. You know what I mean? Like it's just, he's becoming a top shooter. Like you can see him, he can create a lot of shots, creates off the dribble, step back threes, step in threes, dribble threes, good handles, clutch. Probably not defensively, elite, but good enough. But yet will never kind of be recognized as that. Not on this Bulls team anyway, which is just trash.
He's only 25.
Yeah,
Didn't realize actually. I thought he was kind of in his late 20s. They've drafted Patrick Williams. They've still got Larry Markin and Wendell Carter, Garrett Temple, Denzel Valentine.
It's just a terrible depth. Terrible.
Yeah, it's a bit rough at the end, but also Billy Donovan, I don't know, is not a great coach, in my opinion. Like, I like a Tibbs hire better than I like a Billy Donovan hire because at least Tibbs is going to ride a team to squeeze something out of it. Whereas Billy Donovan, I feel like, is a bit of a takes him 3 or 4 years to get his feet in there and actually, if he doesn't have the stars, like on that OKC team, he had all these stars that you just put him in these positions to be good. Like I haven't seen him good building a team.
He kind of gave the keys to Chris Paul last year, and then that drove OKC to a really overperforming year. I just don't think he has a Chris Paul in this team.
Nah, definitely not. Wendell Carter, maybe, but I don't. Yeah, I think 2 or 3 years. That another couple of picks. They'll kind of prune out. Otto Porter. I think he picks up his deal too. I don't see him as like a great star. Like he's kind of like a discount Beal.
Yeah, he'll be off vet mid next year somewhere.
Memphis Grizzlies, 30.5 wins.
Yeah, John Morant, rookie of the year, good player. They haven't improved much as a team, but that again saying, they will kind of gave us a little bit of some excitement around it last year. Good core of rookies. Jonas Valanciunas, good center. I'm going to say 35 wins.
They picked up Winslow. I don't know if that was last year. Kyle Anderson's still there. Jaren Jackson. They got the Grayson Allen. They drafted Desmond Bane. Have you seen that dude, man? He's massive.
Yeah, he's big.
Absolute beast. I don't know. I can see them expectations on them this year. We saw how good they were last year, and then just them being shit. Under the radar, just being like, oh, they're back to being like Sacramento Kings again. Low in the West. Although I had 36 wins. I don't know. I think I might have been high when I picked that, but 35.
Yeah.
36. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like an under. Like I'm feeling an under, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Orlando Magic at 31.5 wins. They didn't really do much. I think they signed James Ennis.
They hit a player option.
Yeah. Re-signed.
He had a 1-on-1. Yeah, I don't know. They're trying to. There's always this Gordon talk trade.
I like Aaron Gordon, but he's kind of like a disappointment type player.
For his size, athleticism, and strength, he's just underperforms for me. But that's another story. Look, what Marco Fultz year 3, maybe coming into some sort of his own. 32 wins I could stick with. Half over, I think. 32.
32? You reckon over? I went under 30. I can see him even down, Minnesota of the East, down in that 20 spot. Like the terrible team. It's hard too because they were a playoff team last year.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It just doesn't. I'm not getting that vibe this year. I like a few of these teams where they made the playoffs and you're just like shit. They made the playoffs, and then you look at them now and you're like, I don't know if I really rate them. And I can't see them making the playoffs, but then they'll probably just be in the playoffs and then blow me out of the water.
Because the nice thing about Orlando is they haven't changed that much. They've got a good core. They've kept the core. They've played together. Vooch is still there. Who was I laughing at? I was laughing at
Mbamba.
I think I was listening to The Ringer, and it was just like
Michael Carter Williams, Ennis.
Yeah.
Nah, who are you talking about? Specific players or?
Yeah, I was talking about the thing. I was talking to you about it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Where it was like Nikola Vucevic. It's like, God damn it, I'm going to watch Nikola Vucevic again for fuck's sakes. And then 6 games later, they're like, God, I'm glad we have Nikola Vucevic on this team. Yeah, that's how he feels, though. He does feel like a guy that's like that. There's a few players where you're just like, fucking hell, this guy. And then you're like, man, he really came through. But I don't know. I get this vibe of just they're going to just fall out again. And it's going to fly under the radar. Who's their coach? He's like the Billy Donovan of the not the Billy Donovan, the coach of Denver. He's like the coach of Denver of the East. I can't think
Mike
of what
Malone.
It's Mike. But it's not Mike Malone.
Yeah, I forget.
But it's that guy of the East, Anyway, we'll move along. Houston Rockets. Our man JT.
Big open question, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, with Harden. Who knows what the fuck's happening there?
What the hell happens there? I think it's too early to even predict Houston. Look, based on a John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Harden mix-up. If Harden's in there, he's going to take them to 50 wins. It's just Harden. You know what I mean? Let's just shoot threes. I don't know what Steve Silas is like. Will Weaver's very much that three in paint. Look, Harden 50 wins. Somehow Harden's not there.
No caveats.
Yeah,
straight up
wins.
Pick. I'm going low because Harden's definitely not going to stay, man. After all this bullshit he's pulled, there's no way he's going to stay.
I'm going to say 40 wins. 40 wins. Sorry,
40.
Yeah.
So you're gambling on 40 or 50?
Yeah, I'll go 40. I was gambling on there being 82 games, but just 72 games.
Yeah, because spoiler alert, the Bucks at 49.5 wins is the highest on this list. So
really,
yeah,
I reckon the Bucks will win 60.
60, yeah. Well,
they're just a regular season.
Pencil it in, 60.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But Harden's going to leave for sure, man. And the franchise is falling apart. It's a mess. Tillman Fertitta's not a basketball guy. He doesn't understand. They've had front office upheaval, a new coach. He's got a bet in the style. Like I think it's going to be like the James Harden suck zone. It's going to suck the guts out of this franchise because if he goes, it's going to be, Eric Gordon's not going to have his like room to be Eric Gordon, and then you got PJ Tucker. Is he still on that? Yeah, PJ Tucker without caring about what's happening. Like he's useless again. Like he needs to care. He kind of got protected a little bit with Clint Capella when he was there, and then having Rocco and a couple of other bigger guys kind of protect what he gives as a six. I think he's 6'7", playing center, small ball center. But who knows if Silas is going to play. Like that's the other thing too. I was thinking about like if you come into this team and you're just like, no, we're playing with a traditional center. What does PJ Tucker become? Like PJ Tucker kind of becomes you're out of here. Like you can't really play as a small forward in this team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went under because I think LeBron. I think Harden's going to suck the guts out of this franchise. I went 28 wins.
Okay.
New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh.
And you can announce the Aussie 10-day.
Yeah, Will Magnay on a 10-day.
Yeah, man. I totally missed this. I didn't even realize he'd gone over there because I remember I think I said to you, he was like on a list to go over there. I thought it might have been to the Rockets at the time, but yeah, fucking oath, man. He was good too last year in last year's NBL. A big man who could shoot the three, make a little bit.
It's a bit hard to get on these Pelican team. Jackson Haynes and Steven Adams.
So, yeah, I don't see him getting many like actual first team opportunities, but still a mad experience for him.
What are the Pelicans at? What's their over under? What wins are they at?
Hang on a minute. 2-way 21. Yeah, I'm just making sure. I thought he got waived, and that would have been stupid. Oh, he's in the team. They're at 36.5. That's too high, man, for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 34.
I think it's a pretty safe under. I think they're gonna be good, like decent enough. But I can't see him winning. Near 40 games.
No.
That's too many games. So looking at their roster, Steven Adams I like as a pickup. Next to Zion, I'm like, okay. He's a decent enough veteran too. Like a leadership type of guy for Zion Williamson, because I don't think Zion's going to be playing a lot of center, especially with Stan Van as their coach. Who fucking knows? I think Stan Van's like a gamble and a half. Who fucking knows how that's going to work out? Apparently he's like a slave driver, Tibbs style, and he's got a lot of young guys on this team. Lonzo Ball, Redick, Eric Bledsoe. Oof, you have to, have a season to go from Holiday to Bledsoe is tough. I like Jackson Hayes. Don't like the spelling of his name with an X. Terrible. No. I like his hustle. I think Stan Van will be good for him because he, finishes lobs, gets by guys and dunks all over people. It's good. And then Josh Hart, I think, is maybe their like third, fourth best player, really, or maybe like their second best player off the bench.
Second best player off the bench. Don't count out JJ Redick.
Yeah, I like JJ. Great veteran. I think if JJ is a great asset to any team that he's on, even if he's not giving like good offense or systematizing into a team's play, he's still a great veteran. Willie Hernan Gomez is on the team. Yeah, man, I can't see them winning near 40 games.
No, 32.
32 or 34?
Yeah, 32.
All right. Moving to the Golden State Warriors. Kelly Oubre pickup, Bazemore pickup. I like that Bazemore pickup, but then just Clay out. Dre's got fucking COVID. Wiseman gets COVID. It's just like, fuck's sakes. Can't catch a break, that team. Steph's going to have to carry this team on his back. I don't think he's, like this side of 30, I don't think he's got that in him anymore.
No, probably not. I'm going to... It's hard to know, man. They're a good team. Like, they've been a good team for a number of years. 35 wins. Yeah,
I went safe under 35. I can see them winning like between 20 and 30 games, like, and just being terrible. It's like their roster went from, with Clay being injured, like Wiggins, Draymond, Kelly Oubre, Looney.
Kelly Oubre's not a bad pickup, man.
No, it's a good pickup, but I don't like how much responsibility he has. Like, I think if he was a tier down on response, like if Clay was there and Kelly Oubre was like behind that, Like if, say, for example, Wiggins wasn't there and it was Clay was actually healthy, that's where I'm like, okay, Kelly Oubre can fit in this team, but like without Clay there, and like you're gonna get a lot of fucking Kelly Oubre, man. Kelly and Clay, and then Draymond playing power forward, Wiseman at center, or Kevon Looney, or Marquise Chris. I don't like Marquise Chris, man, at center, and then
it's terrible.
Like I don't mind. Like he's 23, but he plays like a 23-year-old. Like he's young and rough around the edges. They picked up Brad Wanamaker too from the Celtics.
That's not a bad pickup.
And then another year of Paschal, who was I thought pretty good, but like didn't really fit their system. Like he was more of just a gunner type player where you put him in like the T-Wolves or the Bulls and just go ham and score the ball. I don't know how I don't think he really fit when the Stars were healthy last season. Jordan Poole, and then Bazemore's a decent pickup too. I don't know. I was like, they could either be good or could either be bad, but Steph is gonna have to do a lot of work, man.
Yep,
and
definitely.
Have you seen how like slick and oily he is in some of these promo shots? He's like brown and he's got like a film of oil on him, man. It's fucking weird, dude. The dude is like living his best life though. What a champ. Atlanta Hawks, 36.5 wins.
Yeah, I just don't
That's
see that
so high, man. What the hell is that?
I just don't see that.
That's such a big jump. They've signed Tony Snell, Rajon Rondo. They drafted a Kongwu. Signed Gallo, Solomon Hill, Bogdan, Chris Dunn. I mean, on paper, you're just like, yeah, not bad. Like, okay, we can, but like in 2 years when it's all gelled, that's going to be a decent team. Like
not coming off a whole bunch of no playing, COVID, and then a 72-game season.
They've got Capella. They've got Trae Young, obviously, and Kevin Huerter. I don't know, dude. That's such big expectations. 36.5 wins.
36.5 wins.
I can see him around 30, but I went with the easy under at 35.
Yeah, I'm going to go 34.
I think I can see him being bad, like real bad. And where everyone's just like, Jesus, what were we thinking? Like my Jazz pick. But at the same time, like, who knows, man? Gallo could have a crazy good season. Rajon Rondo could be a great fit with Trae Young. But how do you go from Trae Young, who was like by far the highest usage in the league, to just like, here's all these other guys that need the ball? Like, how's he going to go with that? Because he was terrible when he started. Like, remember the memes, Trae Mung?
Yeah.
Like, and then like just like that, man, it was like, oh yeah, he's actually a decent player. Like, okay, that was a bit silly. We all got a bit silly there.
Pulling up from the logo.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's way too high. Phoenix, 38.5.
Yeah, I could see this Phoenix team actually being pretty decent.
Is that high? Is 38.5 a bit high?
No, it's the Chris Paul factor. Chris Paul and Devin Booker, man. Like, this is a good combination.
It's so easy to forget that they got Devin Booker now that, Chris Paul's they're signing, Another ball dominant player. Like, I guess like he's a scorer as opposed to Rubio, which was like a creator that you didn't want to score the ball but just took too many shots.
Yeah.
Do we like that fit?
Yeah, I think look what he did at OKC with nothing. So took them to 45 wins.
Just looking down this roster, Saric on 9.5, so they paid him. Jay Crowder they signed. DeAndre Ayton I like, but I still think DeAndre Ayton's probably 3 or 4 years away from, wow, he's had a breakout year for the Suns, like with Chris Paul. But at the same time, I think Chris Paul is going to make him a lot better than a guy like Rubio. Although Rubio, fit in terms of pick and roll with a big man. Jalen Smith, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Campaign, Adele Nader. It kind of dies pretty quickly on this team too. There's a lot of
Bainsey. They should have rehired Bainsey.
Re-signed him, yeah.
Stop it.
I don't know, man. 38's high.
I'm going to go 37.
37, yeah. I went 38 the under. I think that's a safe under. The Chris Paul factor is there. But like getting near 40 wins, I don't know if that's achievable, really. But who knows? Pacers, 39.5.
Really?
Yeah. So they signed Nate Robinson, I want to say, Nate McMillan, to a contract, and then 2 weeks later fired him. I did not. I was reading about that. I was like, what the fuck? Like, and now Nate Bjorkgren's their coach, who is fairly well rated. But yeah, looking at their roster, I'm just gonna pull up their roster.
Oladipo, Turner, Sabonis.
If they get another decent year of Sabonis and Oladipo, yeah, all right. Malcolm Brogdon's still there.
Yeah.
TJ Warren, who was just lighting it up in the bubble. Jeremy Lamb, they picked up Lamb. Doug McDermott, TJ still there. Aaron Holiday, they got a bunch of holidays in there.
I suppose it's the East.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's the year of just like, oh my God, the ass is falling out of Indiana.
Yeah. 35.
35 wins. All right, I went 39, so just the sneaky under. I can see him like, wow, the Pacers 30 wins, don't even make the playoffs. Like, but then again, I guess Oladipo, Sabonis, and Turner is worth maybe 30 to 35 wins, I guess.
Yeah.
The T Blazers 41.5 wins. That's a lot of wins, man.
Yeah, good pickups though. Rocco.
Canner.
Yeah. Canner. Nurkic.
Yeah, I guess.
Nurkic
is back fit and looked decent in the bubble.
Yeah, Carmelo is actually pretty good.
Yeah, he looked good today, actually, to be honest. But that's kind of preseason. Like, their roster's quite trim, like, for who they are. Lillard, McCollum, Nurkic, Covington, Hood, Derrick Jones Jr., Zach Collins, Kanter, Anthony Simons, Nasir Little, Gary Trent, Carmelo. They've got nice kind of, like, rhythm pieces. Yeah. Nice trimmed pieces. I don't like Kanter. They probably could have a better center. Like, to go from Whiteside to Zach Collins and Kanter is a bit shit behind Nurkic. But, yeah, I don't know, man. And then Lillard, Dame time again.
Oh, it's always going to be Dame time. He's the supermax. So, 40 at the safe under.
Yeah, I went 38. Because I think they're going to be around, they're 8th seed, 9th seed, 7th seed, or maybe even a play-in team. It's the Trailblazers again. Utah Jazz, 42.5 wins. No?
Not this year.
Not feeling it?
Not feeling
I'm out on the Jazz, man.
Yeah.
I've lost my Jazz spark.
Under at 40. It's just hard to, it's hard to win in Salt Lake.
Yeah, I guess going back to Donovan Mitchell, another year of disappointment in the playoffs. Again, going out in the first round. Although I think he's a better player than that. Rudy, there's the Rudy contract, just silence.
Yeah,
it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, do we pay him? Do we not pay him? It's just gone completely silent. Joe Ingles, another year. Derek Favors, he was at the Pelicans last year, was he?
Yep.
And now they've just brought him back. Like, okay, sure. Just bring him back.
That
was a bit weird. They drafted somebody. Did I write it down? No, they need another big, I wrote. I don't know if Favors. Jordan Clarkson, they ended up paying him. Bojan Bogdanovic is going to be back. Royce O'Neal another year. Oh, yeah, Azubuike.
Okay.
Georges Niang still there. I don't know, man. I feel like this is the 40. Year where it's just like disappointment central.
Yeah, under at 40, I think.
All right, go 40. I went 39. No, wait. I went 41. So that's under. Toronto Raptors, 41.5 wins. So they re-signed.
The Tampa Bay Toronto Raptors.
Sorry, the Tampa Bay Raptors. Tampa Bay. They're going to be training with Tom Brady. The Raptors, Tampa Bay Raptors, 41.5 wins. Does that feel high?
That feels really high. Look, they're a good regular season team, I suppose, but they're not playing in.
Yeah, teams aren't having to go to Toronto anymore.
Yeah, so
and they have a nice pipeline of young guys.
Yeah, OG. They lost a lot of talent though. Although Bainesy's going to the Raptors, so I suppose they lost to Barker and Gasol. That's a big loss, man.
Yeah, Barker and Gasol is a huge loss. They picked up Alex Len and Baines. That's an overpay for Baines? That's been in my head for weeks. that's a massive overpay on Baines, I think.
Good on him, mate. 2 years.
Oh yeah,
15
fucking oath. Grab that paycheck for sure for Baines, but for the Raptors, I'm like, man, that's an overpay. Like, I don't know if he like after last year where he had all those niggly injuries, I was like, I don't know if you want to pay this guy a massive amount.
I'm gonna say 38 wins.
38. This could be the year where it's just like the Raptors fall out.
Yeah.
I went 39, was pretty safe under. Because I don't think. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. It's a bit of a split up of the team too. Like some of the crux pieces like Ibaka, Gasol leaving. Mavericks 42.5.
I think that's pretty safe. Over, I'm going to say 43, just the quiet over.
It's just Luka's worth the over.
Yeah.
Alone. You're just like, Luka, over. Straight up.
I like the Josh Richardson Seth Curry trade. I think Josh Richardson adds to their defense, which is probably a little bit lacking, and Seth Curry does not add to any defense. So, I think that adds to some.
What do you mean by that?
I think that Seth Curry was probably a chink in their defensive armor last year, playing him, because Luka is not the greatest defender, and Porzingis is good but not superior. And I think that Josh
Richardson's
going to be out
actually too for a while, I think.
Yeah, he is. Josh Richardson's actually a very good on-ball defender, so that helps a fair bit. And I think that.
Sorry, you go.
Yeah, I think that was just it was a good trade. It was good for both teams, really.
I think Richardson is bigger than Curry.
Yeah, massive.
Which I think is going to suit.
6'6", yeah.
It's going to suit. It's going to suit Dallas because they don't need the shooting. I think you're right. Yeah. Like with Curry going to Philly, they needed the shooting. They didn't really need the defense. They needed the shooting badly, and I think this is a good fit beside Luka. Luka's just worth the over alone because I think he's going to have another great season. They picked up Willie Cauley-Stein. Trey Burke, I think, re-signed. Drafted Josh Green, so we get to watch them for another year. I was a bit disappointed when they drafted him and was like, Dallas again. But, I'll be definitely watching him with interest because I think he can actually come in at 6'6" and provide some good defense for this team. Like, he's a more nuggety version of what Brokoff is kind of offering on, not in shooting the threes, but in terms of being able to kind of on-ball defense. I think he's going to fit this team a lot better. They drafted Tyrell Terry as well. Boban Marjanovic is there. Maxi Kleber's still there. Dwight Powell. James Johnson they got from Miami.
Yeah.
But yeah, easy over for me. Possibly might even, second seed, third seed maybe.
Third top four definitely.
Yeah.
But not sure if they're going to sneak into that third spot yet.
Maybe next year, yeah. Philly at 44.5.
That's. I'm going to say that's a safe. I'm going to say 45. I'm going to say the slight over. I think that this is the year Embiid and Simmons kind of work their shit out. Everyone's getting out of their way now. Different coach, more pick and rolls, using their size better. There's no real need for Simmons to shoot. So like, here's the keys, man. Just run it. And I think that's what was really missing towards the end of last season. It was just like, oh, no, we've got to get everyone involved. We've got to get Harris involved. Just like, no, give the keys to Simmons and let him run it. Play Embiid as a solitary big. You've got good shooters, run the floor. And yeah, I think that they've Daryl Morey's added a good team. Danny Green's defensively great and doesn't need to clog the lane. You've only got 3 lane players now, whereas last year you had 5 lane players. So it's a much better starting roster.
So what do you reckon your starting 5 for Philly's going to be?
Simmons, Curry, Green, Harris, Embiid.
Harris a power forward?
Yeah.
Do they have another power forward really on this team now? No, they don't. Mike Scott is the only one that's listed. Yeah. Tony Bradley's listed as a center. He might play power forward. I think he'd shoot. Harris is, and Doc Rivers. Look, Daryl Morey, say no more, to me, is an over. Like, as soon as they brought in Morey, I'm just like, all right, this franchise is going somewhere in the next 5 years, I think that was a really astute pickup. Wasn't high on Doc, and I explained that in the season review for Philly. But at the same time, I think he is a corraler of men, and that's kind of what Philly need. Philly didn't need like X's and O's. Like let's divide out what's happening with the team. I think Philly needed like some locker room chemistry and just to gel this team together and just go, all right, let's start playing for each other. as somebody who knows absolutely nothing about the Philly franchise, I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, Morey I think's worth the over alone, and I went with number 1 seed, 51 wins. That's my jazz of this season. Miami Heat 44.5. We're getting to the box office seats. 44.5 feels way high, man. I kind of feel like the guts are going to be sucked out of them. Like they wrung it out last year, and that's it.
No, I think they'll improve. I think that Dragic is a big factor. Robinson's coming back. Got a lot of rookies.
Bam, they re-signed.
Look, 44.5. Yeah, look, I'm going to say safe 45 wins. Safe over for me.
Yeah, I still went over, but I can see them. It's just like, oh, Miami, like, all their big weapons on cooldown, and then, 36
it's
wins.
The Jimmy Butler factor, man. You can't count the Jimmy Butler factor. He's a workhorse like no other. So he will will them to win, trust me.
So they kind of re-signed the same cast too: Kelly Olynyk, Myers Leonard,
They paid
Tyler
Myers
Hero.
Leonard for some reason.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go into their numbers. Miami. Oops.
Olynyk opted into his 19 million.
Yeah, 19 million is huge. 12 million. 12 million.
So.
But still, that's a lot for Olynyk. He's a 5 million. Yeah, Myers Leonard at 9.4 and then Olynyk at 12.5. That's a lot of salary, man, for those two guys who it's just like, you will not be playing in the finals. Adebayo signed his max extension. Tyler Hero, they re-signed. I think they got Mo Harkless. Okay. They drafted Precious Achiuwa. Interesting name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I got that feeling of like Miami's going to be a bit shit this year, and they kind of overachieved last year. Denver Nuggets 44.5.
Yeah. They seem to do well regular season as well. It's a Jokic factor. Jokic looks fit, man. Looks like someone said, time to get NBA body, and he did. Yeah, 46 wins. I think they're safe over. Yeah,
I think it's a safe over. I don't know if they're going to get up near 50. They don't feel like a team that's like a what did you say, 46? They don't feel like a team that's alpha. They need that number one spot.
Yeah, they just get there. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I think they have the ability in what they do. Like they don't need that to validate who they are. Yeah. Which is what some other teams in the last few years have kind of had. I'm just going to look at their roster, see if
MPJ, watch out, second year.
Yeah.
Bol, potential rookie of the year. There we are, throwing it out there.
Was he a rookie last year?
No, he was a rookie in the bubble, and that didn't count towards rookie standings. So he can get rookie of the year.
Nice. Ben Simmons styles. Jokic, Murray, Gary Harris. They lost Jeremy Grant. Yeah, maybe that's a decent loss for them. He was quite good in the bubble. They re-signed Millsap, JaMychal Green, Porter Jr. They drafted Facundo Campazzo. Who knows how he's going to... And RJ Hampton as well. Bol. I think RJ Hampton will be decent for them. I don't think he's going to have a huge impact, but I think over the next couple of years, I think he can turn sort of almost Michael Porter Jr. Like, he doesn't have the same size frame as Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, I think MPJ would have went 1 or 2 hadn't he not been so injured. That's my feeling.
But I think he can be the guard version. I think RJ can be the guard version of Michael Porter Jr. Shoot the ball well, get to the hole. Now, the Brooklyn Nets. This is a tough one, man. Nash, head coach, signed Shamet, Jeff Green, Joe Harris re-signed, Tyler No Teeth signed for them as well.
It's the KD factor and the Kyrie. Kyrie will just be injured half the season, and I'm going to say under. I'm going to say 43 wins.
Yeah, 43. I think you could go pretty safe over or under on this. Like I wrote here, I think they're going to be awesome, but are they going to sign James Harden? What's going to happen with Kyrie? Is Durant going to be back 100%? Like. It's a 2K team. Like you're just like mad, man. Like how good is this team going to be on 2K? But then like when you see it, it's like this didn't work. But at the same time, I like Nash and I want Nash to do well. I think they've got some decent pieces around them. It kind of marginalized the good bits of their team that has made them a good team over the last few years. Like Karis LeVert,
Joe Harris.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
Joe Harris re-signed. But Joe Harris is kind of like the Klay Thompson of the East too, where it's just like, oh, I'll fit anyway. I should just shoot the ball, flamethrowers, you know. Jared Allen, be interesting to see how he fits. But I like what they're doing. Yeah, fuck, DeAndre Jordan as well. I forgot he was on that team. Jesus.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing. I like who they are. And I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard, eh? Like for that team, you're just like, Jesus, this could be awful. It could be great.
It wasn't the same team last year. It's a completely different team this year with guys that you really just have no idea how they're going to play. So.
Yeah, all right. So I went 46, so they're over. Clippers, 46.5. Ty Lue signed as head coach. They picked up Kennard, Ibaka, and Nick Batum.
Yeah, you'd be safe on saying that. That's 47 wins pretty easily.
47? You going over? I went under.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to flop, man.
No,
I don't think Ty Lue's going to be that good for them.
Okay.
And I'm kind of out on Kawhi a little bit. So they've signed Paul George. Obviously, they're giving him the max, which I like. Like, I don't know. Like, if you put Kawhi next to Paul George and we're like, you have to pick one, like, would you take Paul George or Kawhi?
Kawhi.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I don't know.
Why?
Because he was awful last year. And then it feels like he's more volatile. Like, Paul George is not as good, but it feels like Kawhi as a personality is just more volatile in that sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Kawhi's won championships. Paul George has
True.
not.
That's definitely true. I don't know. It's weird. I got a weird feeling about Kawhi. Like, Kawhi could just leave. You know? Like, you're always looking at that going...
LA's his home, man. That's why he went there. This is his franchise. Yeah, this is his home. He's not going anywhere.
All right. So he's gonna sign the max as well?
Yeah, I think so.
So they've given Paul George the max. All right. In that sense, then maybe if you're higher on Kawhi, you're kind of looking at Paul George going, why the fuck did you... Like, what? Really? You gave him the max?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, social's not the word. Like, team building wise, I don't know. It's a weird. Paul George is a weird one, man. Because what his value is off the court and what his value is on the cap sheet, for me, I don't think translates to who he is on the court.
Yeah.
So I went with 41 wins under. I think they're going to flop. Boston Celtics, 45.5. Why are they so high?
I don't know.
What the hell?
They haven't improved. In fact, they've not improved at all.
And Kemba's out. Kemba's going to be out, I think, until February.
Yeah, I'm going 40. I mean, it's Brad Stevens, but I'm going 40 wins.
But it's kind of like Brad Stevens with a shitty team now. Jalen still got Jalen and Tatum, but I don't think like, although Jalen and Tatum have come a long way, I still feel like they're like one or two bigger guys to shield them away. What'd you go, 40?
40, yeah.
I went 41. Like, I've written here, why are they so high? It's fucking crazy. 45 wins, man. Is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown worth 45 wins?
No.
I can't see that.
Especially without Hayward and Kemba Walker being injured. It's just not happening.
So they've signed Jeff Teague as a backup. He's going to get a lot of minutes. Lost Brad Wanamaker, who's, you know, a backup guy. Tice, they found a nice little piece in him playing small ball center. They've signed Tristan Thompson, who I've always thought is like a classic overhyped guy. Oh, mad grabs boards, man. You know, for me, he's always been the guy that just goes over the back of guys and never gets called.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I don't know, he was pretty bad last year with the Cavs. So, you know.
I don't think he's ever been good for the Cavs, put it that way.
Well, he was good in the 2016 in the finals. That's what everyone kind of points back to and goes, who's mad in that finals? Grabbed a lot of boards. I don't know if that's worth 5 wins.
No.
Nah. All right. Lakers, 46.5.
Over.
Yeah, 47 for me. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go 52.
52? Another barnstorming. Are we happy? Are you happy with what they did in the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of, I don't know if they've improved or they have. I mean, Marc Gasol's a good center, man. Just smart. That team that's just like, all right, we're just going to get all these savvy vets in here. Let LeBron and AD do their thing. and then everyone get out of their way. Look, Caruso's a decent player. They've got Kuzma's good. They've got a good bench. They're definitely favourites to run it back.
I'm not high on Schroeder, but that was widely touted as a really good signing. I don't know if I'm that happy about that. I like it. I like Schroeder, but I'm just not high on Schroeder.
He's more of a kind of a Rondo-esque player that can shoot the ball. I think it's really for when LeBron's off the floor. If they want to reduce LeBron's minutes regular season, they need someone who can score. So I think that's what that is.
KCP's back. Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, but again,
kind of weird
they've got Marcus Gasol, so it doesn't matter.
I think Harrell's going to play less at center now because they've got Davis who doesn't want to play center, but now they've got Marcus Gasol who can play center. I don't know. They've got wrinkles. Like LeBron and Davis are clearly the best duo in the league.
Yeah.
Pairing those guys, I guess you can just have some pickup guys. Yeah, just bring some pickup guys in and play.
Pretty good pickup guys. They're pretty good pickup guys.
But I think you could just put pickup guys with LeBron and Davis, and they could probably win a title.
Probably. I dare say so.
Let alone constructing a roster. Kuzma and Caruso, I like as players.
Yes.
I like if you really put the blowtorch to their feet. I don't know if they're going to be as good this year as they kind of were in the bubble last year. But it's all about mitigating that. It's all about, getting that away from them and treating that a little bit better this season.
They're good pieces. They're good pieces in a good team. That's what it is.
And finally, the Bucks, 49.5 wins.
60.
60
wins. They got rid
60.
of Bledsoe. They put Drew Holiday. It's a Giannis team. Giannis is regular season. Teams don't scheme against him. It's not a series. He just steamrolls them. They're like, oh, we're playing these games. And then Giannis comes in and steals. We'll just play him in the finals. It's 60 wins every season.
60 wins. So you don't think there's like a whole Giannis, is he going to sign derailment coming?
No, not yet.
No?
No, they'll just play this season and we'll see what happens.
So looking through their roster, Middleton, Giannis, Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, DJ Augustine, Pat Connaughton, DJ Wilson, Bobby Portis, DiVincenzo, who was going to be part of that Bogdanovic, that didn't happen. They've picked up Bryn Forbes from Spurs. I think that's a decent signing as well. They've picked up another Antetokounmpo, Thanasis.
Thanasis played last year.
Oh, did he? Wasn't he at the Lakers? Was that another one?
No, that's Costas.
God damn, so many Antetokounmpos. Torrey Craig, Sam Merrill, and then Nick Stauskas on an Exhibit 10. Nick Stauskas.
Stauskas is playing it. Oh, that is hilarious.
But he's on Exhibit 10, so he probably won't make the roster. They've got 18 on their roster. Yeah, I went 50. I think that's a safe over. And they're all predictions all in the books. How long have we been going? 55 minutes. So we did pretty well to get around 45 minutes. It's not a bad effort.
We did.
Like, share, and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can find the Aussies Taking Over the NBA podcast. Any further things to say about this? It's going to be an interesting ride this season with COVID.
This season is going to be weird until about February. There's a lot of shit happening in the next, vaccines, all that kind of shit. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? Who knows what's going to happen when, a team gets struck down with COVID? We know it's going to happen at some stage. It's the nature of the beast. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next episode.